Welcome to 70s Unheard, where you can forget everything you thought you knew about 70s rock radio. Cutting the fat and skipping the greatest hits. This is your weekly transmission dedicated to the forgotten rebels and lost tracks of the decade. The bands that burned bright, then faded away. The album cuts that should have been singles, and the sounds that defined a generation. I'm Jeff Gerkins, and let's start today with Jackson Browne from his 1973 album For Every Man, joined by Elton John on piano, Glenn Frey on harmony, and David Lindley on lap steel. Billboard called this song a loose-limbed honky-tonk rave-up. Record World called it a cook and rock'em sock'em rocker. And I call it Jackson Browne's sincere invitation to introduce you to his redneck friend.
You're already on the run, little one. What you gonna do, little one? Honey, it's all up to you. Now your daddy's in the den,
From his 1974 album On the Beach, that was Neil Young with Walk On, a song about perseverance and individuality amid criticism and adversity. The lyrics encourage us to continue moving forward and walk on regardless of others' negative talk or attempts to bring us down. A journey through the music that shaped a generation. This is 70s Unheard on Radio KCM. In the town where I grew up, when I was young, seemingly an entire generation of men died at a younger age, some in their 50s, often due to smoking, diet, working conditions, or that era's healthcare. For whatever reason, in my community, there were large numbers of what I would call 30-year widows, women who would live into their 80s and 90s, but who had lost their husbands in their 50s and 60s. In general, those women were tough and resourceful survivors who carried on for decades alone. A prime example lived next door to us growing up, Miss Mattie Bliss Shacklet. Most of her life had been spent as a farmer, later moving to a small house next to ours, living out her retirement years. She was very good to us and took a special liking to my younger brother, Kyle, referring to him as her little man. She would call us once or twice a day to check in. I suspect always hoping for Kyle to answer, because no matter which of us boys answered, her first response was always the same in her very distinct verbal style. "How's my little man?" Miss Mattie Bliss was even better to our dog, who she invited into her home on a daily basis to serve gravy. I'm pretty sure if our dog were given the opportunity, he would have preferred to live with Miss Mattie Bliss rather than the Gherkins family, if for no other reason than the indoor daily gravy service. At one point, Dad decided to pave our drive, and in doing so measured and set a perfect 10-foot basketball goal in concrete, allowing us to play some serious basketball on the newly paved drive. Verland and Danny and tons of neighbors showed up to play for hours on end. As we grew into high school, for very good reason, few of us had dates. So many a summer night was spent shooting hoops until late into the night. Despite the fact that I'm sure he hated our choices in music, Dad was very cool and ran speaker wire outside from our stereo system and mounted 2 big speakers facing the basketball court on the garage, allowing us motivational music while playing hardcore hoops on those summer nights. Unfortunately for Miss Mattie Bliss, her bedroom window was literally 40 feet from that goal. I shudder now when I think back at the noise we made. Loud rock music, constant dribbling, yelling, "I'm open, that's a foul," until 11 p.m. or midnight on most summer nights. Sometimes she would flip on her bedroom light, hoping to signal to us that she was trying to go to sleep, which sometimes was effective, but not always. But as I mentioned earlier, these 30-year widows were no wilting petunias, and Miss Mattie Bliss often got her revenge that next morning. I can't prove it, but we all suspect she made a very deliberate 7:30 a.m. call the next morning after each of our late-night basketball extravaganzas. Now, Mom and Dad would already be at work, and like clockwork, that phone would start ringing. Now, a perfect summer day and summer morning for my brothers and I were spent sleeping till 10 or 11, waking up, making a giant bowl of cereal or some Dinty Moore beef stew, and settling in time to watch the daily reruns of Happy Days on the local independent channel. But Miss Mattie Bliss had a different plan. And at 7:30 every morning, that phone would start ringing, while the 3 of us each lay in bed hoping another brother would get up and answer that darn phone. Ring, ring. Miss Mattie Bliss would not give up. 9 rings, 10 rings. Now, mind you, this was before answering machines. And finally, one of us would get up and grumpily answer that phone. "Hello? How's my little man?" Yep, Miss Mattie Bliss always got her revenge. Touche, Mrs. Shacklet. And in all truth, I loved that lady like a second grandmother and was always respectful and kind to her, and truly regret our being so inconsiderate. So, in tribute to Miss Mattie Bliss Shacklet, one of those 30-year widows, a survivor, and one of the finest women from my community, I'm going to play one of the songs that I remember playing often through those outside garage speakers blasting in the direction of her bedroom window. Now, I would like for you to imagine yourself as an elderly retiree at the end of a hard day, tucking yourself in and turning out your bedroom light and hearing this. That's right. From his classic 1978 album, Book of Dreams, here's Steve Miller Band with a song with the loudest intro ever, Jungle Love.
us home, but I asked you for a dance. Now we go steady to the pictures. I always get chocolate stains on my pants. And my father, he's going crazy. He says I'm living in a trance, but I'm dancing in the moonlight. It's caught me in its spotlight. It's alright, dancing in the moonlight on this long hot summer night. It's 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm on the streets again. I disobeyed another warning. I should have been in by 10. Now I won't get out till Sunday. I'll have to say I stayed with friends. Oh, but it's a habit worth forming if it means to justify the end. Dancing in the moonlight, it's caught me in its spotlight. It's alright, dancing in the moonlight on this long hot summer night. And I'm walking home. The last bus is long gone. dancing in the moonlight.
Spotlight, it's alright. Dancing in the moonlight on this long hot summer night. Dancing in the moonlight, dancing in the moonlight. It's caught me in its spotlight. It's caught me in its spotlight. Dancing in the moonlight, dancing in the moonlight on this long hot summer night. Dancing in the moonlight, dancing in the moonlight. It's caught me in its spotlight. It's caught me alright. It's alright.
And from a band unfairly labeled in the United States by a single song, the boys are back in town. That's Thin Lizzy. The Irish band had such a wealth of great music that charted in Europe for many years, but their lone top 40 hit in the U.S. was all that most of us know. That one was from 1977 from their album Bad Reputation. That was Dancing in the Moonlight. This is 70s Unheard, celebrating the forgotten glory of the music of the 70s. The murder ballad is a long-standing tradition, especially in Irish and early country music. I live in Knoxville, and the old song Knoxville Girl by the Louvin Brothers is all about a male killing his lover. I moved from Cincinnati to Knoxville, where I lived near the Ohio River. And another early country murder ballad is called The Banks of the Ohio, and that tells the story of a man who kills his lover on the banks of the Ohio River because she refused his proposal. Lyle Lovett's L.A. County is all about a gentleman who drives from Texas to L.A. to shoot his former love while on the altar marrying someone else in L.A. Some murder ballads are more cryptic, including this one, Elvis Costello's Allison. While Costello has never actually admitted it, you can understand why listeners over the years have heard homicidal undertones in Allison. Consider these lines. Sometimes I wish that I could stop you from talking. And I think somebody better put out the big light. Need more proof? The last phrase on the repeated chorus is, my aim is true. And I always thought he was simply talking about his intentions. Costello has remained tight-lipped about what inspired Allison, only revealing in his 2015 memoir that he wrote it after seeing a beautiful checkout girl at the supermarket, looking as if all the hopes and dreams of her youth were draining away. Maybe, just maybe, true to the song's concluding declaration, Costello's aim was true, just not in that dark and creepy way. Listen to the lyrics and decide for yourselves, is this a murder ballad? Here's Elvis Costello from his 1977 album, My Aim is True, and Allison.
Oh, it's so funny to be seeing you after so long, girl. And with the way you look, I understand that you were not impressed. But I heard you let that little friend of mine take off your party dress. I'm not gonna get too sentimental like those other sticker valentines, 'cause I don't know if you are loving somebody. I only know it isn't mine. Allison, I know this world is killing you. Oh, Allison, my aim is true. Well, I see you got a husband now. Did he leave your pretty fingers lying in the wedding cake? You used to hold him right in your hand. I bet it took all he could I'm talking when I hear the silly things that you say. I think somebody better put out the big light, 'cause I can't stand to see you this way. Allison, I know this world is killing you. Oh, Allison, my aim is true. 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 My aim is true.
Eagles with Visions. And speaking of Eagles, comedian Steve Martin will be performing in Knoxville next month. And in Steve's autobiography, he talks about his nights spent in Hollywood's legendary live music venue, the Troubadour, doing stand-up. The Troubadour played an important role in the careers of Jackson Browne, Elton John, Carole King, Joni Mitchell, and Van Morrison. Other friends from Steve Martin's days doing stand-up around the Troubadour were Don Henley and Glenn Frey of Eagles. Steve claimed he played a role in the naming of the band. He recounts that he suggested that they should be referred to as the Eagles. Not the Eagles, is what Glenn Frey said. He insisted that the group's name be simply Eagles. Now, if you don't believe me, go to your record collection and look up any Eagles album cover. Never the Eagles, always just Eagles. I'm Jeff Gerkins, and you're listening to 70s Unheard on Radio KCM. A special shout out this week to my beautiful niece, Haley, and her new fiancé, Nolan. Haley accepted Nolan's surprise proposal just a couple of weeks ago. My only question to Nolan is, what took you so long? Best of wishes, guys, to Haley and Nolan, who will soon be starting their own new life. From the 1971 album Tupelo Honey, here's Van Morrison.
When I hear that robin sing, well, I know it's coming on spring. Ooh-wee. And we're starting a new life. I've been shoveling the snow away, working hard for my pay. All I gotta say is we're starting a new life. We gonna move way on down the line. Girl, we'll be standing one place too long a time. When I hear that robin song, well, I know it won't be long. Find out where we belong. Yeah, we're starting a new life. Standing in one place too long a time. Yeah, when I hear that robin song, well, I know it won't be long. Find out where we belong. And we're starting a new life. 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 is the highway. On the highway I will run. In one hand I've a Bible, in the other I've got a gun. Don't you know me? I'm the one in one. Woman, don't try to love me, don't try to understand. A life upon the road is the life of an outlaw man. That Margarita was down in Santa Fe, headed for San Francisco in a 56 Chevrolet. And all my friends are strangers who quickly come and go. And all my lovers in danger, I steal hearts and souls. Woman, don't try to love me, don't try to understand. A life upon the road is the life of an outlaw man. Woman, don't try to love me, don't try to understand. A life upon the road is the life of an outlaw man. On the Barbary Coast I live and leave my sign, moving through the shadows to commit my act of crime. Some people call me Abel, some people call me Cain, some people call me sinner, some people call me saint. Woman, don't try to love me, don't try to understand. A life upon the road is the life of an outlaw man.
And you just heard American folk music singer-songwriter and actor David Blue from his 1973 album Nice Baby and the Angel, an Outlaw Man. One of David Geffen's original signed artists with Asylum Records, David Blue never achieved the fame as his label mates Eagles, Linda Ronstadt, and Jackson Browne. Blue began his career in the Greenwich Village music scene in New York City. The song Outlaw Man you just heard was covered by the Eagles. It was included on their album Desperado. David Blue died of a heart attack in December of '82 at the age of 41 while jogging in New York City. Providing the soundtrack of every shag-carpeted, paneling, walled, refinished basement, this is 70s Unheard. If you're like me, over the past few years, you've spent hours watching reruns of the television show The Office that originally aired on NBC in the mid-2000s. One character from The Office that made me laugh most was Creed Bratton, the mysterious older gentleman who would pop in with the most hilarious quotes. For example, I've been involved in a number of cults, both as a leader and a follower. You have more fun as a follower, but you make more money as a leader. Creed actually used his real name as his character's name and his real past as his character's past as the former lead guitarist for the late 60s, early 70s pop act, the Grassroots. While achieving pop success using professional songwriters and session musicians on their releases, Bratton became frustrated by Dunhill Records' refusal to allow the band to write its own songs and play their own instruments on their records. After a disastrous appearance at the Fillmore West, Creed Bratton was asked to leave the band, and years later he turned to acting and became cast in The Office. So, from the 1972 album Movin', here are Creed and his bandmates, the Grassroots, with Runway, a song about happily returning to home after a long tour.
I've been a brother to sorrow. I've been surrounded by gloom, 'cause this hotel's got hot and cold running, heartache in every room. Checking out of here in the morning, even that'll be too much time. I'm gonna get up on a big wide road, waiting at the end of the line. But the runway is
if my words did glow with the gold of sunshine, and my tunes were played on the harp unstrung, would you hear my voice come through the music? Would you hold it near as it were your own? It's a hand-me-down. The thoughts are broken. Perhaps they're better left unsung. I don't know. Don't really care. Let there be songs to fill the air. Ripple in still water when there is no pebble tossed, nor wind to blow. Reach out your hand. If your cup be empty, if your cup is full, may it be again, let it be known. There is a fountain that was not made by the hands of men. There is a road, no simple highway between the dawn and the dark of night. And if you go, no one may follow. That path is for your steps alone. Ripple in still water when there is no pebble tossed, no wind to blow. You choose to lead, must follow. But if you fall alone. If you should stand, then who's to guide you? If I knew the way, I would take you home. La da da da, la da da da, la da da da, la da.
And that was the eclectic and experimental Grateful Dead from their 1970 album American Beauty and Ripple, a concert staple for the Dead. If you grew up in the Baptist church, you might notice the song Ripple's melody bears a striking resemblance to the gospel hymn Because He Lives, which actually was published a year later in 1971. I'm Jeff Gerkins, and you're listening to 70s Unheard on Radio KCM. A couple of weeks ago, I read the comment from a listener, Chris, who informed me that he felt some of my music was cheesy. Well, another listener, Mr. Regal 258, reached out on YouTube in my defense saying, tell Chris to get his own show and that he could play whatever he wants. Thanks for standing up for me, Mr. Regal, and thanks for reaching out. You know, that is a good idea. Chris, if you would like to join me one week and design your own hour of 70s Unheard, please reach out. I'll give you full control of the studio for a show. If you have comments, please reach out at 70sunheard@gmail.com or on my YouTube channel. Just search 70s Unheard. You can subscribe there as well, or at Twitter or X at 70s Unheard. No doubt influenced by another Canadian power rock trio, Rush, the Ontario-based trio Triumph had a brief run in the U.S. in the late 1970s and early 80s with their prog pop sound. Beloved in Canada, the band took an indefinite hiatus in 1993, ultimately reuniting in 2025 for its first public performance in years as part of the Stanley Cup Finals in Edmonton. Here's the band Triumph from the 1979 album Just a Game, and Hold On.
Music holds the secret to know it can make you whole. It's not just a game of notes, it's the sounds inside your soul. The magic of the melody runs through you like a stream. The notes that play flow through your head like a dream. Like a dream. I sing this song for the common man and for the people in despair. I bring my song into the world and I sing it everywhere. The simple truth lies waiting here for everyone to share. So hold on, and I will take you there. Hold on, and I will take you turns you round and puts you in your place. Another day, another dollar, another pretty face, another chance to lose yourself in the endless race. Hold on to your dreams. Hold on, even that seems. Everyone around you has their little schemes. Listen to your heart and hold on to your dreams. Can't you feel the magic? Feel it everywhere. Can't you hear the music? There's something in the air. There's a celebration deep within a song. Celebrate this feeling, it can't be wrong. Hold on to your dreams. Hold on, even though it seems everyone around you has their little schemes. Listen to your heart and hold on to your dreams. Hold on, hold on, caught up in routine, you got to make it. Time won't wait for us, we got to make it. Fate gives you the chance, you got to take it. Take it.
If you have a friend on whom you think you can rely, you are a lucky man. If you found the reason to live on and not to die, you are a lucky man. Preachers and poets and you. Teachers and preachers will just buy and sell you. When no one can tempt you with heaven or hell, you'll be a lucky man. You'd be better by far to be just what you are. You can be what you want if you are what you are, and that's a lucky man. Oh yeah, a lucky man. And that's a lucky man. A lucky man.
And if I didn't know better, I'd think that was Roger Daltrey. But it is Alan Price, the original keyboardist for the English rock band The Animals. That was the title track from the soundtrack of the 1973 British comedy Oh Lucky Man, that starred Helen Mirren and Malcolm McDowell. From the days when you could see the world through your Viewmaster, this is 70s Unheard, one of the top Italian rockers of the early 70s. Adriano Celentano wrote and released Presancali Incident Choose All in 1972 to mimic how songs with American English lyrics sound to non-English speakers. Improvising the gibberish lyrics to capture the sound of American rock and roll for Italian fans, he said, "I like American slang, which for a singer is much easier to sing than Italian." The song became a hit in several European countries and even reached the charts in the U.S. Celentano never wrote down the lyrics. Instead, he improvised the lyrics during each live performance. There are only two actual English words used in this song, baby and all right, which actually exist in about 80% of all rock and pop songs. Here's Adriano Celentano from 1972. I hope you enjoy the lyrics.
Name's the 920.
You're the cold maze, say one breeze and call in answer and choose all. All right.
Choose now and whole build the scene in a whole rate, maybe get the color boss dying. Change some mind, begin to cold, baby, stay yet, Bill Joe. We the same the shoes now and whole build the scene in a whole rate, maybe get the color boss dying. When it's the same night, you look on me, Steen. You never tell me, never just got babies a jam. You the cover not choose, not right, but not sure. Hope this again, not the cover, no time. Oh, but if it's just stand, like the shoes you go, my man. You can trust to the man, called the radio girls. Oh, for something. Good time, let face go. We the seeing in the stand, and the shoes are coming in. This is two of the cars that have a forward the guy to stay. I my chance, let ain't a kill so throw it brings up. You the call and made to say one piece in combination I do so alright. You know, feels he can on the door. That's baby, that's a lot of big yo.
Eyes, my sense, and you got something with pizza eyes.
And that's Adriano Celentano on 70s Unheard on Radio KCM. Today we're taking another trip to the Echo Chamber, where each week we choose a cover version of a classic 70s song that is at least equal to or better than the original. This week I'm choosing 90s alt rocker Mike Doughty. Born in Fort Knox, Kentucky, in the 90s, Doty founded the alt-rock band Soul Coughing, who charted with the 1998 hit Circles. In the early 2000s, he embarked upon a solo career and produced songs that received airplay and were often used in film soundtracks. Here's Mike Doty with his take on John Denver's Take Me Home, Country Road.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the tree, younger than the mountains, rolling like the breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country road. All my memories gather around her. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Missed the taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads. I hear her voice in the morning hour. She calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Riding down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads.
And that does it for this episode of 70s Unheard. I'm Jeff Gerkins. You can follow me on Twitter or X at 70s Unheard. You can also follow me on YouTube. Just search 70s Unheard. Email your questions, suggestions, critiques, etc. to 70sunheard@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Until next time, we'll close with a tribute to actor Robert Redford, who passed just last Wednesday. When I was in my early teens, my dad built a bedroom for me in our basement. I was the only family member whose bedroom was in our basement, allowing me to stay up very late into the night, even on school night, watching films at the midnight movie. And many of those starred Robert Redford, including Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and the Sting. So who is a greater example of a more charismatic actor than Robert Redford? So we close today with the theme from The Sting, Marvin Hamlish, from the 1973 film The Sting, in tribute to Robert Redford.